gotta stop playing this. Why is this bee swarm simulator so addictive? I have me and my army of bees. Yes, it covers as a reviewer of type. This game has what I would call one of the perfect leveling systems. It completely describes an action RPG mechanic right up to the hilt. The army of bees, the bigger weapons, the bigger pot. It completely and accurately describes the perfect balance of adventure RPG mechanics. It doesn't have any fighting in it. It only has collecting bee and honey for the sole purpose of getting better equipment to collect more bees and more honey. It is, quite frankly, stupendously well made. And I don't normally review Roblox games. Most of them are formulaic and repetitive. This one, though, without the game itself being fantastic, has captured the essence of a rather interesting way of affairs. I collect the pollen gets turned into honey. I use the honey to buy more beads, bigger pot, and bigger scoop to pick up more pollen. The bees also mine the pollen, and if I just want to stand here, the bees will fill the pot up while I talk to you guys. And it's incredibly well designed. The balance between grinding and reward is at perfect steps, so you get a new bee or a new pot every 20 to 30 minutes of play. Now at the beginning they give them to you every 5 to 10 minutes, then it stretches out a bit, and then as you adapt to the game it stretches out to 15 minutes, and now I would say it's down to 15 minutes for me. 30 minutes for each individual item pretty much. Sorry, the server appears to suck, so the game keeps stalling. But 15 minutes per item, between 15 and 30 minutes. Now there are quests which can massively increase this down to the 15 minutes again. So if I'm just grinding, it's the 30 minutes, whereas if I'm doing the quests as well, it's more likely to be the 15 minutes. I have to fill this pot 4 times to get a new bee, or 4 times to get a new jar, or 4 times to get a new thing, like a, I'd say, well, weapon, for want of a better word, because they are hoovers, they are axes, they are pairs of scissors. This one is a funny looking shovel of sorts, but you probably get the idea. This is about game balance, and not often I say that I congratulate a Roblox game, which is other than an arcade style game, for having RPG mechanics which are workable. And they are, and this Bee Swarm Simulator would work on many levels. It would only work really within Roblox, but I could see it being a decent mobile game, and I can see it making a lot of money here. I just hope they don't change this into a grind, because it is kind of enjoyable. It's one that me and my son have played, and I think I'll return to. I've got to say that I'm praising a game like this, you can find good games anywhere. Good games are not dependent on graphics. Good games are not dependent on action. Good games are dependent on balance. It is the most important thing. The balance between reward and effort. That's it. There's a little RNG in this, but only when you open the eggs, and you can pay for more expensive eggs, but it's a free-to-play game, so I'm not going to complain about free-to-play mechanics in a free-to-play game. It has everything, and it captures the essence of good balance in a game. And here's the reward part. I am given honey for collecting the pollen. Like, for example, in an RPG, you'd be given gold for grinding monsters. You turn the gold into better weapons, or you turn the experience points from grinding monsters into better stats. It is exactly the same thing, captured in its pure essence. It's something which a lot of multiplayer games don't have. Something you don't get from a Fortnite or a PUBG. You're as good as you are in that game. Now, I would say things like Star Wars, whereas you're as good as you are plus the equipment you're wearing, are more similar to this. Now, this is where I get pure PvP games. Don't allow your experience to influence the game mechanic, or your willingness to put in time or money to influence the game mechanic. And what I would call poisoned PvP games follow a mechanic similar to this. It's a strange view, I know, but this is a pure game because you're not fighting other people. So when you have RPG elements, if you have RPG and PvP, you have to balance the field. When you have RPG elements, role-playing game elements, role-playing game leveling system, but you have a PvP environment which at first appears to be based on skill, but later on you realise they're rocking different equipment to you, that I call a poisoned environment. It's a poisoned game. It's a game where people get to feel superior to other people by paying money or grinding time. Those are not games I play. I don't enjoy them. I don't like them. There's not much fun to them. I'm the sort of person who could pay to win and there's no point to it. There's no reward in paying to win. There's a reward in playing Fortnite. There's a reward in playing PUBG. Everybody's on the same field. You all got the same thing. It's just luck. What you pick up, and it's just your skill, what you shoot with. Now, with this is fun. I'm not fighting anyone. It's still fun. What's not fun is when something like this is added to an otherwise PvP game. Doesn't bode well for the future. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you one of the best balanced role-playing mini-games I've seen in a long time, and I really think it needed saying. Thanks very much. Sorry, turned into a bit of a rant. Please rate, comment, and subscribe.